Welcome to Covenant Communications Audio Library. We are pleased to present The Buddy Bond by Troy Dunn. We hope you enjoy the presentation.
You know, sometimes when we sit in church, in seminary, and I know growing up in church, it was the way it was always told to me, I guess I was one of the hyper kids. I mean, I wasn't hyper like out of control and somebody wanted to smack me, but I was the one that they kept going, Troy, sit still, fold your arms. Shh, Troy, shh. There's a time and a place for everything. Now, please. But you know what? No one ever came to me at any point and said, Troy, just in case you're wondering, this is the time and the place where you can wiggle and make a little noise. So I just want you to know that in this class, this is the time and the place. You guys can just relax, have a good time, all right? How many of you come from a family that was a pop quiz? How many of you come from a family with other children in your family? We call that siblings. I didn't know that. The first time somebody said to me, do you have siblings? I thought it was like some kind of an itch. But siblings is brothers and sisters. Now, what I want to find out, and I'm only asking for those of you who will be honest, I want to find out how many some of you have. So what I'd like to do is if you have 3 siblings, I want you to raise your hand, 3 or more. Now keep your hands up. Keep your hands up. Now I want you to be honest. Yes, you may count stepbrothers and sisters or adopted brothers and sisters. Those are your brothers and sisters. Do not count the family dog. Yeah, but he's like family. Just the siblings, all right? 3 or more. 4 or more, keep your hands up. Yeah. 5 or more, keep your hands up. Now, I want you guys to be honest. I don't want some smart aleck out there.
37.
6 or more. All of you have 6 or more? Jeez, a bunch of Mormons! 7 or more. Some of you guys are bracing your arm like it's going to be a while. 8 or more. 9 or more. Jeez. 10 or more. Are you all related? 11 or more. Let me see. Do we still have a hand up? All right. Any more hands up? Hands, all right. If you have 11 or more, just stand up so I can see you better. Stand up if you have 11 or more. 12 or more. 13 or more. Man. 14 or more. Who's still standing? Are you still? You still? Are you standing over there? No? Anybody over here standing that I haven't met? 15? 16? Are you honest? You being honest with me? You have 17. Anybody here beat 17? Come on up here. Give her a hand. Get her up here.
My brother's here, but he only has 12 because I have another step family.
That's okay. All right, first tell us your name and where you're from.
Katie, and I'm from Arizona.
Were those all your brothers and sisters?
Yes!
All right. Of the 17, how many are boys and how many are girls?
5 boys, 11 sisters.
You have 11 sisters.
3 are pregnant.
I bet the power just totally goes out in their neighborhood when they plug the curling irons in. In the line of 17, what number are you?
I'd have to think about that for a while. Wait. I think I'm 12.
You're number 12.
Wait.
That's probably what her mom calls them all. 12, get in here. 14, quit hitting 7. Come here.
Yeah, I'm number 12.
All right. Have you met them all?
Yes.
Well, I didn't know. 17, it seems like you'd like be going through the house going, do I know you? Sit down at that dinner table and go, Mom, who's the third kid from the left? Yeah, that's it. All right. I'm going to give you, can you name them all? All right. I'm going to give you 20 seconds to name all 17, from oldest to youngest, as close as you can.
Okay.
All right?
Ready to go?
Yeah. Wait a minute. You ready? Wait a minute. We're waiting for them to get to the top. You guys must have like bedrooms in different zip codes. Ready? I'm going to give her the mic. Hold on. All right. Go.
Andrea, Allison, Melissa, Jay, David, Tammy, Angela, Christy, Jill, Cindy, Tel, Tad, Tevit, Rayanne, Anna, Tad. Oh, wait. I already said Tad. Me. I think that's all, isn't it?
Was that 17?
Okay.
All right. We're going to start again. And then we're going to get your mom on the phone. No.
Okay.
Ready? Go.
Andrea, Allison, Melissa, David, Jay, me, Tammy, Angela, Christy, Jill, Cindy, Becky, Anna, Tad, Tevit, Telly, and Rayanne. That's all.
Very good. Sit down. How many of you are those bossy, snotty, mom goes to the store, you're in charge, oldest? How many of you are those whiny, spoiled, never get in trouble baby? How many of you are those confused, not sure where you fit in, middle children? Yeah. I come from a family of 70, no. I just want to say something bigger than 17. Actually, there's 4 kids in the family I come from. Most of my life, there were 3 of us because the 4th one, Travis, cool little dude who's 11 now, was adopted when I was a little older. So for most of my growing up, there were 3 of us. But there are 4 total. Troy, my brother Trent, my sister Trissy, and my brother Travis. Troy, Trent, Trissy, Travis. I have 2 little boys, and my wife is pregnant with what we found out is another little boy. So my boys' names are Trey and Trevor, and the 3rd one that's coming is Treston. So all of them together is Troy, Trent, Trissy, Travis, Trey, Trevor, and Treston, and our next one is going to be Trouble. I grew up the oldest in our little family, and I learned a lot by being in a family with kids, which you probably have too. One of the things I've learned is that sometimes the oldest can push their luck just a little too far. Am I right on that, middle children? Sometimes as the oldest we think that, we're the boss and we can use to get our way, and sometimes it doesn't work out right. My class today is not to try and give you ideas, all right? I'm saying that right up front. I'm trusting we're all mature enough to get through this class and understand the point of it without going, oh my goodness, I've never tried that one. All right? Because I've had some experiences with my brother that maybe some of you have had, my brother Trent. Because sometimes, it seems like we get caught up in this thing in the church where, as LDS people, we always want to try and project this perfect image all of the time. And we're afraid to have other people find out that our family is not as perfect as those families on the Little Mormon commercials, that sometimes we actually argue or we get in situations. How many of you have chores? Family slave labor. I had, growing up, a chore that my brother and I had to do. I'm not going to get graphic about it, so you're just going to have to kind of understand the point. But on Saturday mornings, my dad would come and wake us up, shake the bunk bed, and we'd get down and come out, and he'd say, "Come on, it's time to get started." And we knew what that meant. We had a backyard, not very big, kind of a small backyard, fenced in, but living in our backyard were 2 large St. Bernards. Yes, you're correct. That was our chore. We had to, every Saturday, remove the doggy business cards. And let me tell you, if you skipped a week, that was it. It was wall-to-wall business cards. So we had to do it every Saturday. Dad would always get us up early to do it because, if you wait till it's hot, it's a harder job. I'm sorry. Did you have breakfast yet? So what we did is we'd have to go out and we'd have to get started on this chore. But I was always more of the one that my brother was much more obedient. We'd get right out there and get to work. There were 2 parts to the job. One guy had to hold the shovel. The other guy had to hold the bag. Neither job was very desirable. It wasn't like every week I would say, "I'm the oldest, I'm doing this one again." Every week it was something different depending on the kind of mood. Because, if you were the shovel guy, not the shovel, that would really be bad. That's what little brothers are for. Hold still! No. But if you were the guy holding the shovel, you were down there close to the action, And that was a pretty gross part of the job. But if you were the guy with the bag, man, you had to have amazing faith in the guy with the shovel. Don't you mess. That was always scary. On this particular Saturday, I decided I was going to hold the bag, and Trent could do the shovel. So we went outside, and we were kind of playing around, and Trent immediately grabbed the shovel and went right out there into the corner where we started. We always started in the back corner, worked our way across, had a little pattern. Well, he went right out there at the shovel and got started working. I was not always so obedient. Sometimes would like to play. And I had this toy. I don't know if any of you ever had this, but it's an army man on a parachute. Do you have one of those? And you roll the parachute up around him and you throw it in the air and then he floats back down. I'm a simple-minded guy. My mom says I'm not the brightest bulb in the family lamp. And so this was very amusing to me. And I could do this for hours. Just throw it up in the air and just watch it float down. And the trick was you had to catch it before the army man landed in one of the minefields. Because if he did, game was over. One dead army man, no recovery. So I was out there playing. My mom was probably looking out the window going, "Oh, I'm really worried about Troy." Whee! And my brother's going, "Come on, Troy, come on." I said, "All right, just a minute." And I was playing with it. My dad opened the sliding glass door, and he said that one word that always gets us moving, "Now!" I said, "All right, Dad." Set the toy down. I pulled out the box that the trash bags come in. Everybody pulled a bag out of a box before. It's in a roll, and you have to kind of pull it out and tear a bag off. Well, I pulled the bag out. I must have spent like 10 minutes. I was convinced that I had a factory defect. Couldn't get it open. My brother, who's not supposed to call me names like stupid, sometimes would call me wizard. Because I wasn't one. Thank you for laughing at my life. And I was like, "Man, I can't get this bag open." And he said, "Wizard, turn it over." "Turn it? What do you mean turn?" "Ah, okay." Now what's the first thing you do when you pull a bag out? Shake it. I did not know this. So I spent another couple of minutes unwrapping the bag. Man, these bags are stuck together. And I heard my brother's voice go, "Wizard, shake the bag." Shake. Shake it. I was highly amused by this. Wow. Now don't laugh, that means you've done this before. I just thought, man, if I could get a whole box of these for Christmas, I'd be set. I'm sure my mom worried about this too if she was watching me out the window. What is wrong with Troy? I don't know. My brothers are there going, "Come on, Troy." I said, "All right, just a minute." Look, Trent. This looks kind of like a parachute. And I thought, I instantly had this plan of what a great idea this would be, but it wasn't so great that I thought maybe I should try it first. But if you're the oldest, you don't say to your younger brother or sister, "You know, I'm really scared to do this, so would you do it first?" So you got to come up with a great way to get him to do it. And I knew how to get my brother to do things. I said, "Trent, you want to be a stunt man?" He said, "No." Well, wait a minute, Trent, check this out. This looks like a parachute, like our army man. All we need is an army man. "Not me." I said, "Come on, think about this. If we could get you up high enough, we could get you to fly." I said, "Yes." "Well, then you do it." "Me?" "Well, if I did this and it didn't work, could you catch me?" "No." "All right, well, I can catch you, okay? So you're it." He bought it. I said, "Come on over here." And I thought about putting him up on the roof, but I thought, no, that's, my mom saw my brother flying off the roof, I'd probably be in some trouble. So we had a swing set, that kind that, they buy at Kmart, you use it for a week, and then it just sits there and rusts for 10 years. And so all Dad does is complain about having to mow around it. So I said, "Climb up on the slide and hold it over your head." So he climbed up the ladder of our little slide, held the bag over his head. I said, "I'm going to count to 3, and you're going to jump, okay?" "Okay. 1, 2, wait a minute. What? You're not high enough. Climb on top of that big crossbar on the swing set and shimmy out to the middle." "What?" "Just do it. Put the bag in your mouth." So he put the bag in his mouth, and he climbed on top of the swing set, and he started to shimmy out to the center. All the chains were jingling, which was making me nervous because there's a big picture window right here, and I was afraid my mom would look out and see this. I said, "Hurry up." So he shimmied out there, and I said, "Okay, throw a leg over the side." He's like, "What?" I said, "Put both legs on the same side." "Okay." And he sat there, and I was going, "Oh, you're fine." I said, "Okay, hold the bag over your head." "What?" "Hold the bag over your head." "I can't. Just hold it over your head." "Okay. All right, I'm going to count to 3. When I count to 3, you're going to jump and hold it over your head." "Okay." I said, "All right. 1, 2, 3. I can't. I'm going to jump. Come on, jump. He's on the spot. "Okay, but stop shaking the swing set." I said, "All right, I'm going to count again. 1, 2. He jumped. I am here to tell you, brothers and sisters, he flew like a rock. I mean, hit that ground, spread eagle, pah! Right over a couple of doggy business cards. But the scariest thing was just as he leaped and he was at mid-flight, peak, right up there, my mom looked out the window. I heard, ah! She came around. I said, Mom, he was crazy. I kept saying, get down, but he wouldn't listen. He just climbed. I said, don't jump, but he wouldn't listen. He jumped. She bought it. So she ran over, you know how moms are, they hold your head and lie. Well, normally he gets up when I do something, and chases me and calls me names, and he just laid there, face down. All I could think was, oh man, if he's dead, I am grounded. Finally, he lifted his head and he looked at me, and he did not have a look of, you made me mad, or anger. He just looked at me like I already had a tombstone on my head. Just stared at me, and I said, you okay? Love ya. You and me, buddies forever. But I could tell he was going to get me. So for weeks, I was like just paranoid that somehow, somewhere, he was going to get me. I mean, if we were sitting at the dinner table and he got up to go get pepper, I would not take my eyes off of him. I was like, hey, seeing you, watching you. Love you. But I finally forgot about it because he never came back, never did anything. But I want you to know, oldest children, sometimes it comes back to get you. I came home one day from school, and I took one of those school naps, after school naps, you know what I'm talking about? The kind that you didn't think you were going to come home to take. You just came home to lay down and watch TV, and next thing you know, you're like in this deep coma. The kind where you wake up and you got drool down your chin, and you got that print of the carpet on the side of your face. You get up and people are going, what happened to you? I don't know. What have you done in the bath? That kind. I had that kind of feeling. That kind where you fall asleep and it's light out, but when you wake up it's dark and you have no clue what day it is, or you know what I'm talking about. So I went, laid down, took one of those kinds of naps, woke up, dark, kind of disoriented, wiped the drool off my chin. There was a lot of drool. I could feel it everywhere. Then I realized it wasn't drool, it was blood. My blood. There were a lot of blood. I mean, right where my face was, there was a puddle, like you could splash in it. And of course, it just totally freaked me out. My mom come running out of the kitchen. You know how moms are, wiping her hands off on her little thing. And ran over there. And my dad's name is Roy. He's a big man, usually fairly calm about things, and came out and said, oh, what happened? And everyone's gathered around my little corpse there, and my mom's wiping my face and everything, and my dad says, come on, think, what happened? Are you okay? I don't know, Dad. I was just sleeping. I woke up and He said, no, come on, think about it. What happened? I don't know. I must have been dreaming. I fell down. I don't know. He said, come on, that doesn't just happen. Did you roll over? Did you hit the coffee table? Did you trip walking it? What happened? I don't know. Son, you're not dying, okay? Just relax. You got a broken nose. It's bleeding. Relax. Now tell me. Think back now. How can you Where's your brother? Where's your... Trent! They started calling out my brother's name. Trent! Trent! Walked into our bedroom. There's Trent, just standing, hands behind his back, against the bunk beds, like this is what he does all the time. Dad walked in and said, Trent? Honey, do you know what happened to your brother? He's laying out there on the floor, bleeding. That's too bad. Hope he's okay. You have no idea what happened. What's behind your back? My hands. Let me see your hands. Your other hand. Both hands. And this is when Trent's confessing. If his lip starts to quiver like he's gonna, get emotional, you know he's confessing. And Dad said, son, what are you doing with my golf club? True story. My brother teed off on my face. 4. You're sick people. Broke my nose. They don't know if I slept through it or if he just knocked me out cold. To this day, sometimes he'll grab me when I'm in a public place and turn my head so people can see my profile of my nose and go, make me jump off a swing set, will you? But the thing with my brother and I was it was like an everyday, all-day regular routine. First thing in the morning, Mom would holler upstairs, breakfast, come down. We'd run down the stairs, little boys. And Mom, I don't know if she had this thing about not wanting to, she thought she was, I guess, an abusive mom if we ate cereal, because she always had this little menu ready that she wanted to offer us. Well, would you like some pancakes? Waffles? How about some French toast? French toast. That is like bread dunked in mucus. I don't know who made that up. I can't stand it. So you know what we said, of course? No, Mom, we just want cereal. All right, so she'd go to the cupboard and she'd pull out our absolute all-time favorite cereal. And she would pour my bowl and Trent's bowl, set the box down. I'd begin to eat my cereal. Being the oldest, wanting to further my education, I chose to read the back of the box. So I read the box as I ate. While I was reading it, without any warning, the box turned. Looked across the table, and there's my brother reading the side of the box now. I said, "Excuse me?" "I was reading that, thank you." The box turned again. "Hello?" Pretty soon we both had a hand on the box, and neither ones would let go. The box just kept turning. Little Fruit Loops were jumping out of the box. I said, "Stop it. You stop. Stop it. Read it first." My mom's over there, feeding my little sister, and got her back to us, and she turns around to see this little Fruit Loop explosion. She says, "Stop it. Stop it." She took the box. "Nobody will read the box." I sat there eating, going, I can't believe I'm not eating the box, eating the cereal, reading the box, because of him. And as I sat there pondering how my attack might come across this day to get my revenge on my brother, a Fruit Loop hit me in the forehead. And I looked up as it slid down my nose, and there's my brother who's just looking down eating. And you know how when you try not to laugh but you snort? He is snorting up a storm. I just stood there going, "You want some of this?" I got a big spoonful of Fruit Loops. like a machine gun. He shot back. He used milk. That's cheating because it gets all sticky. So I tipped my bowl so I could just do rapid fire. Fruit Loops are just flying everywhere. They're hitting the wall and sliding down the side. And my mom, and some of you got to meet my mom already because she's speaking here, but she's a sweet lady. But boys can push moms to the limit. And here she was still trying to take care of my sister, and she stop it! Ran over there and grabbed us by the mom handlebar. Twisted it so hard I could hear people behind me. She said, get up, go to your, we're leaving in 5 minutes. And she probably sat down there and cleaned all the little Fruit Loop survivors off the wall. So we ran up the stairs bumping each other and everything and got up the stairs, and not much longer later, we heard Mom say, I'm leaving now. So we bumped each other down the stairs, and tried to go through the door frame at the same time, and halfway across the yard, we both froze and looked at each other. I got the front seat! And we just ran for this little orange Volkswagen Bug that we called a car. Opened the door, and both of us trying to wedge in the front seat, and here comes Mom holding my little sister and locking the door with the keys, and there we are, and the car's going, we're trying to get in it. She said, stop it. There are people. Stop. Stop it! Both of you in the back. Your little sister will sit up front. The baby of the family. So we sat in the back. My little sister, little sisters fight different than boys. They don't really fight. My little sister just does things to annoy us. So she sat in that little front seat, and she pulled down the visor that had a mirror on it and looked at it because we could see her looking in it, and she just stuck out her tongue. Nothing we could do about it. So I sat there in the back seat very frustrated with the fact that my brother had now caused me not to sit in the front seat as the oldest. So I waited for him to look at me. And he knew I was waiting for him to look, so he wouldn't look. Finally, he couldn't help it. He couldn't control it. He had to look because my force of my pull was making him turn his head. And he looked, and I stuck out my tongue. Looked back. He stuck his tongue out at me. The nerve. Pretty soon, we were trying to get every bit of our tongue humanly possible out of our mouths. My mom spouted off one of those mom things, about, your face could freeze that way. Which, I didn't really buy that. But I wasn't going to take any chances. Just the thought of not doing it, and then all of a sudden, it actually happening and my face freezing just scared me to death. Just happened to go to school. You're not going to believe what happened to me. I was fighting with my brother, and it froze this way. So we stopped that immediately, and I just sat back there. Decided I was going to lean on him. Ugh. He just scooted over and said, stop it. I leaned some more on him. He said, stop it. He leaned back. The nerve. So he went, pretty soon we had our feet on the side of the car, going, trying to pop him out the window if I could. My mom said, stop it! I said, Mom, he is on my half. There's a line right here. This is my half. She said, both of you just leave each other alone. So, still not feeling as though I had received justice, decided I was going to poke him. He just flinched. Stop it. I hate to be ignored. So I figured I was going to go for the ultimate poke. I was going to drill him. And he said, stop it! Did you just hit me? Just stop it! Don't you hit me! You hit first! You hit me twice! I owe you one! Stop it! Stop! Pretty soon we're just going... And my mom did what I think every mom does at least once, a psycho stop. We are not driving another inch until you boys stop it. We were just going, oh man. Okay, Mom. Love you. Love you too. Go, Mom. Love you. But the girls are the ones who are going to be laughing. I want you to know, this is not just a boy thing. Girls can be vicious. My wife, Jennifer, my wife in her little family is the oldest. And I'm the oldest. I don't know how the two of us got married. I don't know, we both being the oldest, we still fight over the front seat. She has a little sister named Joanne. We all lovingly call her JoJo, or Joe, that she used to love to antagonize for everything. I always thought girls were these sweet little innocent, fragile things that just forever, just always skipped around the house and... Yeah, you're not kidding me. I mean, if Jennifer could not find, her red sweater, it had to be Joanne's fault, no matter what. Joanne! Where is my red sweater? Poor little Joe, who's totally intimidated by her big sister. I don't know. Yes, you do. It was here and now it's gone. Where is it? I don't know. Yes, you do. Did you borrow it? Did you tear it? Are you trying to sew it? Did you loan it to a friend? Did you spill bleach on it? Now you're saving money to buy a new one and replace it before I recognize it? Where is it? I don't know. I'm going to count to 3, and that sweater better be right here. And poor Joe's starting to cry. I don't know, Jenny. 1, 2, Jenny, I don't have... 3. Jenny, it's right there under your bed. It's... Oh. Did you put it there? Joanne has this bedroom in the house. It's like one of those rooms that wasn't really supposed to be a bedroom, but somewhere along the lines it got converted. Because it's got like a little vaulted ceiling in it, right? And then it doesn't have normal windows around it. It has at the top of the vaulted ceiling these skinny windows, like I guess for sun to come in on the plants or something, I don't know. And so JoJo would just be sitting there on her little bed doing her little homework, her little phonics book. Jennifer would walk by and see Joe sitting there on the bed, and Jennifer would back up. Joe, do you know why Mom and Dad gave you this room? Joe would start crying. No. Because if there's a fire, you can't get out! Vicious! Man, I couldn't believe it. My brother and I, when we would get home at the end of a day of driving or whatever with Mom, it was another normal routine. You know, brothers like to wrestle. It's just a guy thing. Girls, or parents who only have girls, just are freaked out when they go to the home of somebody who just has boys because it's a totally different environment. You know, I mean, my mom could have visiting teachers over and sit there and have a nice spiritual conversation while the sound of furniture breaking in the background was going on. That poor sister, do you want to check on your boys? No, they're fine, go ahead. Okay, well, they... Are you sure you don't? No, really, they'll heal. Go ahead. It's just a totally different thing. I used to love to do this, and this is not something for you to try at home. But I used to love to pin my little brother down and hang spit right over the top. But it takes talent, you know. You have to know when to hold it, when to let it drop and pull it up. And it was a terrible thing. I just want you to know that. But on this one, you know, he used to love to, like, he'd jiggle. I'd say, stop wiggling. It's gonna fall. Mom, Mom! Your mouth is open. Well, he at one point got one of those bursts of energy that sometimes people get, this amazing strength, you know, how people lift cars in an accident. Well, he just, without any warning, when I was sitting on top of him holding him down, just like went, just arched his back and threw me over him. Which normally probably wouldn't have been a big deal, except that we were facing the fireplace. Introduced me to the bricks. My lips puffed up, and at that moment, my mom, my sweet, loving, spiritual mom, who I want you to know is a nice woman, you tell her I said that, I don't want to be grounded, but she snapped. And I think all moms get to a snapping point. And I figured out there's two things to look for, and I'm going to give you those two things so that you know when to back off your mom. You know your mom has snapped when she does these two things. Number one, she does not yell. And number two, she talks with her teeth clenched. And my mom, who was in the kitchen at the time, came out. Luckily, she set the knife down first. Came out and she said, I have had it. But Mom hit me. I don't want to hear another word. I want you and your brother to go wait for your father to come home. And we sat there looking at Mom's eyes glazed over. Oh my gosh. Trent, go, man, save yourself. Go. Okay, Mom, we're going. And we boogied on down to Mom and Dad's room and went in and shut the door, and we sat on the bed for what seemed like an eternity, arguing over, you know, stop wiggling the bed, you're messing it up, I'm telling Dad. And all of a sudden we heard that car door. An instant terror took over our entire body. It's like we felt trapped and we had to get out. Trent, act like you're asleep. So we laid down. You've done this before. We didn't know what else to do. What do you say? Quick, cling to the ceiling. He can't see us. So we just laid there acting like we're asleep, and Dad came in the house and walked up into the living room, and poor Mom's still standing right there where she was an hour ago. He said, honey, what's wrong? She said, your boys. All right, I'll go talk to him. My boys. And he went down the hall to the bedroom and put on his dad face and opened the door, stepped in. I know you're not asleep. Get up. Now, we didn't know if he was serious or if he was bluffing, so we just kept selling it. Get up. Oh, hi, Dad. What happened? Well, he started hitting me, but then I don't want to hear it. Not another word. Now look, your mother is sitting out there eating an entire box of Twinkies. She's not taking off the wrappers. What happened? But Dad, listen to me. I am sick and tired of this. You boys are going to sit in this room until you can kiss and make up. When you're ready, you call me. And he left. Probably walked down the hall going, oh man, honey, I wish you could be there to see this. The boys are going to kiss. We sat in there like in shock. Well, we're going to die of old age in this room. I ain't kissing your ugly mug. So we sat there for a while. Dads and moms have ways of doing things to get you out of your room when they want you to finally get out. And Dad like turned up the TV real loud so we could tell we were missing Dukes of Hazzard. And Mom would kind of fan the smell of the dinner down the hall, which, in our house can cause a riot. So that makes us want to repent real quick. So we sat in there and argued over who was going to do what. And I said, are we going to stay in here all day or what? No. So are we going to do this or what? Yeah, I guess. Okay, get Dad. You get Dad. I spoke first. You get Dad. All right. Went and opened the door. Dad, we're ready. Dad got out of his seat and walked down the hall and put his dad face back on. All right. You, here. You, here. Now. So we wandered over right in front of Dad and stood there facing each other. And he said, now, do you have something to say to your brother? I'm sorry. Do you have something to say to your brother? I'm sorry. With feeling? I'm sorry. All right. Now what? Dad. Now. All right. My dad was probably fighting back, trying not to snort. So my brother and I closed our eyes, and we puckered real big. We started this real slow death march. Closer and closer to each other. I made a big mistake. At some point during my march, I peaked. You do not want to see your brother coming at you puckered. And just as we were just inches from touching, we stopped. Both of us froze in our place. Neither one of us make the last move, and Dad slapped our heads together. So we laughed, and Dad laughed and said, oh, get out of here. And that kind of brought the day to an end, and next morning we woke up and we had Fruit Loops and started it all over again. And that is a typical day for us growing up. Now it's been years later, and we're grown up, and we have our own families and spouses, and it's changed. And I have to tell you, I love this phase of my life. I love being a dad, and I love having my own little boys, watching them do these brother things. But I would have to be honest with you and tell you that I truly miss being at home with my brothers and sisters. And it may be hard for some of you to even comprehend now because you can't wait to get somebody out of the house or somebody to go on their mission so you can have their bedroom or whatever. But you will miss these days, I promise you. I had the opportunity to attend EFY, a youth conference, one that you might be familiar with, when I was younger. And my brother attended the same EFY. We were roommates together. No, there was no trouble. Counselor got used to the sound down the hall. Bodies flying back and forth. Yeah, that's the Dunn boys again. But we had a nice week getting to know each other and becoming friends. But at the end of the week, there was a testimony meeting. And I hadn't really thought all week about, yes, I'm going to bear my testimony, or no, I'm not. I just really hadn't thought about it. The testimony meeting came, and we were in our little group, and we went into our room to have testimonies, and people were bearing their testimonies. And I decided I was going to bear mine because I could feel the Spirit saying, get up and share your testimony. And so I got up. I had no intentions of what I was going to say. Got up there, and I began to bear my testimony. And every once in a while, I could feel this need to look over here, which is where my brother was sitting. But I kept trying not to because it was really awkward. So I kept trying to bear my testimony over here, but I kept feeling this need to look at my brother. And every time I'd look at him, I could feel this, emotion welling up inside of me. And I kept trying to ignore it because I didn't want to make a fool out of myself. But all of a sudden, I felt this overwhelming need, this total urge. I had to look at him and tell him I loved him because I hadn't done that. So I looked at him and I said, my brother's here with me this week. And he's sitting right here. Trent, I just want to tell you that I love you. And I just was like sobbing. I mean, I was just bawling, out of control. And so the testimony ended, and I went and sat down. And I didn't like go over and sit down next to him and go, dude, what'd you think about what I said? You know, I just kind of ignored it. That's just how we are. So I just sat down, and the meeting ended, and it was over. And as we were getting up to walk out, Trent kind of bumped me, and he said, hey, Troy. I said, what? You know that stuff you were saying up there? Yeah? Well, ditto. Which is like a real major bonding moment for me and Trent. And it made me feel good, and it just made my emotions all fire up again. And so I went out into the lobby, and I found a payphone, and I called home. And my mom answered. You know, I was trying not to cry, because you don't ever want to call home crying. Your mom's like convinced you've been in this terrible accident. I said, Mom, is Trissy there? Yeah. Can I talk to her? Okay. Trissy, your brother's on the phone, wants to talk to you. Uh-huh. Come here. So she got on the phone, she said, hello. I said, Trissy? Uh-huh. I was just calling to tell you that, I love you. Who is this? This is Troy, okay? And I just was calling to tell you that, okay? Okay. I love you too. Okay. Bye. Bye. My mom said, what did Troy want? He said he was calling me to tell me he loved me. Yep, that's what he said. Mom? It was just this weird thing for us, you know, and I would be lying to tell you that every day after that, every time I passed them in the hall or walked by the bathroom, they were in there doing their hair, I went, I love you. But it did open up a new communication for us, and it did help our relationship as brothers and sisters. And I want to challenge each of you to get to know and to get to love your brothers and sisters, because you're going to miss these days. You know, you're not sealed for time and eternity to these guys you go to school with, the ones that you're convinced are going to be friends forever. Those people will come and go. But your brothers, your sisters, your siblings are friends for eternity. I miss those days. I miss sitting there at night in the bunk bed seeing who could scare the other one. Trent, I just saw something move in the closet. Stop it! But I want you to know, these are your best friends. Some of us treat our friends better than we do our brothers and sisters, and that must stop. That must change, because your brothers and your sisters are your true friends. And if you have the blessing and the opportunity to actually have one or more of them here at EFY with you, then I challenge you to take the time to get to know them, to spend some time with them, and to tell them you love them. And if you got them at home, freak your mom out, call home, say, Mom, I just want to tell them I love them. That's my testimony, that these are your eternal friends. They're going to be with you forever. Get to know them, learn to love them. And I say this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.